For 46 years, Reza Pahlavi lived in exile, watching from afar as Iran transformed into a nation ruled by fear, censorship, and religious dictatorship. Now, as the regime faces its greatest collapse in decades, the exiled prince is no longer silent. He has stepped back into the spotlight with a bold message. I will take back what was stolen. Could this be the moment he finally returns to lead Iran? Will the people accept the son of a fallen king as their future leader? Watch the full video to find out. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to get notified as I upload a new video. Let's go on. Reza Pahlavi was born on October 31st, 1960 in Tehran as the eldest son of Mohammad Reza, the Shah of Iran, and Farah Pahlavi, the Shahbanu. In 1967, following his father's coronation, 6-year-old Reza was officially named Crown Prince. From that moment on, he was groomed to one day rule the nation. He attended a private palace school, where he not only excelled academically, but also captained the soccer team. He was trained as a pilot from a young age, completing his first solo flight at just 11 years old and earning his license by 12. At 17, as a cadet of the Imperial Iranian Air Force, Reza left Iran to begin advanced military training as a fighter pilot in Texas, USA. But back in Iran, things were getting worse. People were angry with the government, and protests grew larger every day. By January 1979, Reza's father, the Shah, was forced to leave the country. Soon after, Ayatollah Khomeini returned from exile and took power. Iran became an Islamic republic, and the royal family could never go back. Reza finished his training in the US and then reunited with his family, but they were now exiles, moving from one country to another, Morocco, the Bahamas, Mexico, until they finally settled in Cairo, Egypt. In just a matter of weeks, Reza went from being crowned prince to a stateless teenager. At that time, the Shah was seriously ill. He had been secretly battling cancer for years, and now far from home, his condition was rapidly worsening. Behind closed doors, doubts began to grow. Some monarchist advisors quietly questioned whether Reza was truly ready to lead. He was only in his late teens. Some even suggested that the Shah should skip Reza and pass the title to his younger brother, Ali Reza, who was just 13 years old at the time. They believed Reza didn't have enough training or political interest to succeed his father. But the Shah stood firm. He refused to replace Reza and continued to support him as his rightful heir. When the Shah died on July 27, 1980, Farah Pahlavi took on the symbolic role of regent, a gesture meant to show continuity. Then just a few months later, on his 20th birthday, Reza Pahlavi officially declared himself the new king of Iran. Reza Shah II and the rightful heir to the Pahlavi throne. But the U.S. government quickly distanced itself from Reza's announcement. A spokesperson made it clear the United States recognized the Islamic Republic, not the exiled crown prince. Despite everything, Reza Pahlavi didn't give up. He continued to hold on to the hope that one day Iran would be free again. After his father's death, Reza tried to focus on building a future. He had already begun studying at Williams College in Massachusetts before the Shah passed away, but his plans were interrupted. He later moved to Morocco and eventually enrolled in a correspondence program at the University of Southern California, where he earned a bachelor's degree in political science. In 1985, that same year, during a visit to Washington, D.C., Reza met a young Iranian-American law student named Yasmin Edamad Amini. They connected quickly, and just a year later they were married. Together they would go on to raise 3 daughters, Noor, Iman, and Farah. Far from Iran, Reza tried to live a normal life as a husband and father. But deep down, he never stopped thinking about his homeland. Throughout the 1990s and 2000s, Reza began speaking out more and became more politically active, campaigning for change in Iran. Alongside his family's remaining wealth, he received support from other wealthy Iranian exiles. He frequently appeared on a Persian-language satellite television station based in Los Angeles, which was widely watched by Iranians around the world. At the time of the revolution, Reza's father had become deeply unpopular. But as the years passed and many Iranians grew disillusioned with the Islamic Republic, Reza's image began to change. For more than 40 years, Reza Pahlavi has been a strong voice for freedom, democracy, and human rights in Iran. He has stayed closely connected with Iranians both inside the country and abroad, as well as with various opposition groups. Reza travels the world, meeting with world leaders, lawmakers, and student groups to speak about the suffering of the Iranian people under the Islamic regime. He has consistently spoken out against the widespread oppression and human rights abuses in Iran, calling for the creation of a secular democratic government that respects the rights of all citizens. In recent years, unrest in Iran has reached new levels. The country has faced a collapsing economy, massive corruption, and brutal crackdowns on protesters. But perhaps the most powerful change is the rise of a bold new generation, young Iranians who are no longer afraid to speak out. On the streets, protesters began chanting not just for freedom, but for names many thought were forgotten, including Pahlavi. Videos started appearing online, showing demonstrators in Iranian cities shouting "Long live the Shah." Some even chanted "Raise his name" directly, while others waved the flag of pre-revolutionary Iran. And then came June 2025, a time when everything changed. As Iran's tensions with Israel exploded into open conflict, the regime's grip on power appeared to weaken. Missiles flew, fear grew, and the government, for the first time in years, looked like it was losing control. And that's when Reza Pahlavi broke his silence. On social media, in a post that spread like wildfire, he declared, "The Islamic Republic has reached its end and is collapsing. What has begun is irreversible. The future is bright. Now is the time to stand. The time to reclaim Iran. May I soon be by your side." It was no longer the voice of an exiled prince watching from afar. Reza was speaking like a leader ready to return. A few days later at a press conference in Paris, Reza did something even bolder. He publicly told Ayatollah Khamenei to resign, promising that he would get a fair trial, something Ka never gave to others. He claimed that Khamenei, along with his family and top officials, were already preparing to flee the country. According to Reza, the supreme leader had gone into hiding underground like a frightened rat and had lost control. But Reza Pahlavi wasn't only making accusations. He was offering